So this is me, Vince Lebon.
So let's go back in time
I've decided it's time to step out from behind the scenes and start my very own blog. Why? To hold myself accountable, to capture the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Because I have a dream, and to be honest, it's a big one. My goal is to have 1 in 100 people in Australia and New Zealand wearing Rollies. Once we hit that, we take on the rest of the world. I'm looking to build a global brand that I'm super proud of. I know, it sounds bold, but you know what? It's what drives me every single day. And this vlog, it's all about showing you exactly how I'm going to make it happen. So for me, like when you're creating something special, you have this idea in your head of what it should be. But the reality is that real designers understand it's all about a journey, it's a process. So it's less about what you're trying to create and you pushing yourself to create something that has its own form, its own life, and it takes you on a journey. It pushes you beyond your boundaries and what you think you're capable of doing. When I first started out 13 years ago, I designed one shoe. And the reality is that now it's become something much bigger than I ever anticipated. It's got an energy behind it, it's got its own energy behind it, and I just hope that my dreams is big enough to fit everyone's dreams within it. I think when you're creating, you need to be so into it, but also detached from it so that you can allow it to have its own life, to be able for it to be bigger than you even imagined. And for me, it's just about locking in to that commitment to building something truly special. What designing has taught me is that there's never a finished product. You never stop. Just when you can over-engineer something, you can really obsess over details, but at the end of the day, you've got to get to a point where you understand that it's just a process. And you've got to keep working through it, and every mistake you make can teach you something. And just when you think you know it all is when you know nothing. You've got to come in with an empty cup, an empty mindset to be able to get better and make the best products you can. It's all about creating emotional connections with people, right? If you don't make people feel anything, what are you doing it for? This is much more than about making money. It's about creating a movement and shaping culture. So when I design, I use the first principles. It's all about looking at what you've got in hand and going, what is necessary? What is over-engineered? How can I strip it down to its core? And you want to simplify things, but not oversimplify anything. And if you take that mindset throughout life, it just allows you to focus on things that really, really matter instead of just adding things on top. Inspiration isn't a moment, it's a practice. The more you expose yourself to great, amazing ideas and art, the more you can shape it to be your own. It's not something that you force, and when you're looking for inspiration, sometimes it can be really tough to really force yourself to come up with really great ideas. What you want to do is constantly be exposed to amazing art, and when the time's right, it'll form its own life. This is for anyone who's had a dream that felt too big to hold. It's all about showing you that the road to success is messy, chaotic, and sometimes downright exhausting. But it's also about proving that big visions can become real, but only if you're willing to do the work.